Now let's continue to work on the front end of the car. So we've still got a little ways to go here on the front end. Let's concentrate now down here on this bottom part. And the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and select our editable poly here. And let's actually add one more line right in here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just select those edges. Select all of those. And I'll just do a connect under Edit Edges. And I can slide that down kind of where I want it to be. And I don't necessarily need it to be straight across. I just need it to end at a certain point there. And now I can come in and smooth that out just to take a look at that. And if I need to come in and move some of these around, I can do that. I don't want to move this whole thing because I want to have this point right in here. Okay, so I want to be kind of selective about where I kind of move things around here. I think that's going to probably work pretty well for us. And so let me go ahead and turn off our smoothing. And now we want to concentrate down here on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and take these edges, and I want to start right here and just move down and include this edge right down here. All right. So let's go ahead and just pull this out. So we'll pull it out a little bit. And now what we want to do is just kind of copy this over. So we go ahead and hold down Shift and just pull this out. And let's pull it out to kind of the front part of this where this light stops. Okay, and then from our other views we can move that over. So for instance, from the top we can move that over right kind of where that light ends right there. And then we can take our these vertices if we want to. Go ahead and grab those, and we can move those in as well to kind of start to smooth things out a little bit. All right, so we could do kind of something like that. And if this guy needs to come back in, that's okay, you can do that. All right, so what we want to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of straighten these up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate these a little. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at how we can end this kind of piece right in here. So what we want to happen is for this to kind of gradually become the same level as this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab my cut with the editable poly selected. Okay, so we'll go to Edit Geometry, Cut, and I'm going to start from basically right. I'm going to go ahead and start from right here, and then I'm going to draw just across here like this. So go ahead and just right above that line in there. And I'll go ahead and right click to end that. Now I'm going to take these vertices and I'm going to go ahead and just move these forward. Okay, so kind of move those forward, and what we want to do is get them kind of on the same level as those points below. So go ahead and pull that out, and then we want to do the same thing up here. All right, and we can kind of pull this in a little bit so it's kind of a gradual change. Okay, and then we can come in and just make sure that this is kind of lined up there. All right, and now we can take this edge right here, and go ahead and continue that over. Actually, we want to close that off before we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this edge here and this edge, and we can simply do a bridge just with one segment. Just close that off. And now we can take this edge all the way down. Okay, all the way down here. And now continue that extrusion across. Okay, we can go all the way over to the middle if we want to do that. So we can go ahead and hold down Shift and just copy this over to the center. Okay, we can grab these vertices, and if we want to kind of straighten them all up, we can make them planar. So what we want to do is come down to Make Planar. In this case, we're going to make them planar in the Z. And then I can go ahead and just move those over to the origin. Okay, now if we look at this from the top view, you can see that it's not really matching up very well. So we want to also go ahead and pull this forward. And we also want to add a little bit more resolution in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my connect, and let's add maybe 3 segments in there. And then we can go ahead and just smooth those out just by coming in, grabbing those from the top, and just shaping that a little bit better. Okay, we can come in and shape that as well. And if we want to add another line, for instance, right in here, we can certainly do that. Just coming in and maybe adding a couple, 1 or 2 in there, maybe just 1 will work fine for us. And just moving that out. You want to create kind of a nice curved line there. Okay. And that goes all the way basically to the middle. Now, if you look at it from this point, you can see that we don't have it kind of extending as far as we want it to. So we can come in, and if we want to grab these vertices, I grab all these vertices in here, and instead of just moving those, we can actually use a deformer to actually deform these out. So we can go into the modifier list, and we're going to look at these freeform deformation boxes here. We've got 2x2, 3x3. Let's go ahead and just try a 3x3. Okay, and then we can go ahead and access those control points, and that will allow us to come in and modify these as we wish. So we can come in and just kind of move these down and out, okay, to get something a little bit closer to what we want. Okay, because we want this to kind of extend out. When we're done with this, we can go ahead and just collapse. Okay, and then we can still come in and modify this in any way that we want to. If we want to go ahead and bring out the front of this a little bit more, so you can see how it kind of dips down just a little bit, and also kind of comes out to the front. So we can come in and modify any of these things, and we just want to match them up with the artwork that we have. Okay, so we'll come in and do that, and just kind of generally straighten that up, and you can see how some of these points need to come out and actually get straightened up. So we can do that too. Okay, we'll just come in and just kind of make a nice smooth curve there. All right. So once we've got that all smoothed out and shaped the way that we want to, the next step that we're going to go through is actually doing the same sort of thing with the across the hood and the back end and the bottom, and starting to get some of this geometry along the middle here. So we'll go ahead and start to do that in the next lesson.